it seems like this sect, this cult, this group of zealots, we found out that they want to, in their words, unite Skyrim.
Unite Skyrim?
Did I say Skyrim?
What?
Oh no!
Where's...
Why did I say Skyrim?
Well, that's fine. We can let them worry about... That sounds like some other place.
Role-playing is hard. Wow, how you doing today?
I feel great.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I feel like I slept good.
Okay.
I felt like everything I needed in terms of being ready to adventure
Wow.
prepped me. Good dreams.
That's good.
Good dreams and mental preparation starts with dreaming good.
Dreaming good and sleeping good.
It's dreaming good, sleeping good.
That's great. A lot
It's
of
the number one thing.
inspiration up in your nog.
Yeah.
Good.
Some of it may have to do with like being stressed out, that I don't remember the right lines after being subbed in last minute to the school play.
Oh.
That was one of the dreams, but I crushed it.
Oh, good.
You know,
Good. I'm glad you crushed it.
you can improvise giants in the sky.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's on time, so it's a little hard to.
When you're way up there and you look around and all that's left is the things you have, little more than a chance is enough to show you where the beans are.
Yeah. Guys, he's ready.
He's ready.
He's ready.
Speaking of ready,
Are we?
we are, and so are Pim and Dirk, because they have a very important meeting ahead of them.
Yeah. Wait, we should recap what happened last.
Yeah.
Do we remember what happened last?
Yes, we did. So in the capital of the Havens,
Yes.
Windhaven,
Yes.
the crown jewel, the metropolitan center of the Ironlands.
Yes.
Pim and Dirk find themselves as they were trying to gather information as to the whereabouts of a roguish figure from Pim's past.
Named Arthelius Torn. They have reason to believe that he is in Windhaven. Pim had been wanting to go there for a while,
Yeah.
and it just so happened that their next destination from Borwood would be Windhaven. They ask around to no avail. People haven't really seen the guy, even though it seems like this band of pirates, he was a notorious figure.
Yeah.
People kind of knew about him, right?
But it appears to have gone, whether in hiding, we don't really know.
Can't find him.
His whereabouts aren't able to find. Pim and Dirk moved down to the docks of Windhaven to kind of, as common sense would have it,
Is his boat there?
is his dang boat there?
Where's the boat? Maybe the boat's there.
In searching around for the boat, unfortunately, Pim is spotted by a figure that recognizes her, Kadroth,
Whoa.
and recognizes her as a former member of Arthelius Torn's band. Negotiations don't go terrific.
No.
And soon the Windhaven Guard are alerted
Yeah.
that a member of the notorious Arthelius Torn's pirate gang is skulking about the docks.
Right. Right. And they have to make a getaway, and they decide to make the chaotic choice.
Always, you have to.
They steal a dinghy. There's one dinghy.
A sloop.
Yes. And they steal it. And I mean, somehow the docks get exploded. How did the docks get exploded?
Somehow. Pim, thinking quickly, grabs a spare stick of dynamite, some explosive element, and thinking that the one-sailed vessel needs a bit of a boost, chucks it on the dock.
That's right.
It explodes. The shockwave of the explosion boosts the sail forward, and the ship gets a nice head start.
Yeah.
They are pursued by the Windhaven Guard. They have had time to grab their own ship, but luckily, due to some
fog,
weather climates, a thick layer of fog is able to conceal Pim and Dirk. They make their way on the ship to a nearby cove, where, as fortune would have it, they come across a moored ship.
Yes.
That Pym recognizes.
That is Arthelius Torn's ship. They make their way to the beach, unseen.
Yep.
There's no one out on the ship itself, so we have reason to believe it's dinner time, perhaps. Yeah. They might be in the mess hall, wining and dining. But they decide to reconvene on this beach and figure out a plan. The plan is that Dirk's going to come up with a distraction.
If needed,
because it went great last time.
Yeah.
And Pym is going to take the dinghy to a porthole where she knows is the captain's quarters. And she's going to try to grapple up this boat, break in through the porthole, and have a one-on-one with Torn.
Yes.
Alone.
So we rejoin Pym aboard the dinghy.
Oh, my gosh.
The good ship dinghy.
It's like ding and then E, like ding hyphen E.
Is what the name she's given it?
Yeah, it's painted on the side of the dinghy. It's like ding E.
She's floating there on the dinghy, the very damaged sloop that from the explosion, from the chaos, holes ripped through the sails.
Yeah.
It is dusk. Light is very low. You can hear a slight din, a muffled din.
Yeah.
As Pym begins to sail toward the ship of crew members sitting down for their evening meal. Or at least that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Commotion inside the ship. The thick fog continues to like move about the small cove that they're in. And Pym's in, I would say, about 8 or 9 feet of water.
Okay.
And all around her are thick boulders and shoreline into a more where the cove starts to get a bit more thickly wooded.
Okay.
And in front of her, about like coming into vision, 20 feet high up in the air, is the deck of this ship as she begins to corner around the fore aft port starboard. She's coming around the nose.
The front of it to port side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing that.
Okay, great. I'm so impressed you know that.
What does Pym like to do?
So I believe that Pym would have reason to believe that there is a ladder or some way to get up instead of just like going for it. So let's say that there is a ladder. Okay. It is a rope ladder. It is, we have no idea if it's been checked for safety recently. It also, obviously waves are apt to, lap up against it and decay it. So, I mean,
she comes across this soppy, waterlogged, barnacle-filled, what looks like a playground ladder.
Yes.
That time and punishment by sea. Yeah. Obviously, if this thing is dangling from a porthole, they don't roll it back up when it goes off.
Just kind of chills there.
It's slick. It's covered in seaweed, barnacles. It's a nasty looking ladder.
It's gross.
It's gross.
But she's she takes the rope from the dinghy and ties it to the rope ladder so that the dinghy doesn't float away. Yep. And she begins to scale up. I want to know, okay, so let's say I successfully get to what I think is the window to the captain's quarters. Yep. I want to ask the Oracle if the window's locked.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a normal thing to ask.
Should we ask the Oracle if this is even the correct window, or have you established that Pym just has that in her memory?
I think Pym has that in her memory.
I
think she would know. She spent a good many years aboard this ship. I think she would know the architecture.
I feel like this is going to be a 75% locked.
Oh, damn, really? Okay. I agree.
The window right to the captain's quarters on a pirate ship.
Yeah. I think it's going to be locked too. All right. So, first roll of the game.
First roll.
Are you excited?
Yeah. So we'll say 76 or above. That bad boy's unlocked for you.
Oh, boy. Here we go. No, it is locked.
Fat locked.
Shoot. So, She very, very silently and carefully lifts her fingers on the rim of the porthole, and it's not budging. So let's say she hasn't made any sound, but she can tell the darn thing is locked.
Pym won't even curse in the back of her head.
She won't. Oh no, she does. She does. So I'm gonna try to look inside. I'm gonna see if I can see anything inside.
Cool.
Clearly light is emanating from inside.
Yep.
But I want to know, should it be like a face danger if I'm looking inside trying not to be seen? I wonder.
I would say we could do either or. We could do gather information.
Yeah.
We can ask the oracle.
Uh-huh.
Face danger doesn't sound to me like you're doing some sort of risky maneuver.
No.
Yes, you're trying not to be seen, but
yeah. I'm going to gather information.
I think the face danger would have been clambering up the ladder.
Right.
But we've established that she skillfully did that without being seen. So this is
Correct.
gathering information, I believe.
Okay. Awesome. So, of course, it's plus wits, which is great. Which is always great. If you play Ironsworn, don't put a 1 in wits. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Even if it makes sense for your character, just don't do it.
We can also do a
it could be secure an advantage.
asking the oracle if he's even there. If you can envision a secure an advantage for how you're going to unlock the window, and then to make next move unlocking the window.
Yeah. How about let's just do a yes, no if he's even there.
Love it.
Because obviously if he's there, she's just going to have to tap on the window and he's going to have to let her in. It's just the way that it has to be. A 50-50. Yes, no, is he even there?
Okay.
Low no. Is that 100?
That's 100.
He's there.
He's definitely
He's super there.
Pym gazes in kind of what she can make out through this obscure, sea crust laden, nobody's Windex this porthole since the ship was created. Taking, a little bit of the linen cloth from inside one of her gauntlets, trying to she sees inside a long desk, low candlelight, lantern light around an office, and a beautiful, tall, fur-lined chair.
Oh.
With its 3/4 turned away from the window.
Ooh.
And she sees a figure with a dinner plate in front of it on the desk, what looks to be fiddling with a bone, presumably from something the figure had just eaten. And the chair turns, and picking his teeth with the bone, Pym recognizes as Arthelius Torn, the notorious pirate. What does Pym see of the appearance of Torn through this window?
He has long brown hair that has been matted over the years. I mean, man doesn't. Pirates when do you come into contact with fresh water with which to bathe? And there's a culture, really. There's a no bathing culture. It's almost like insulting to bathe.
Bathing's become a joke, punishment for when one of the pirates complain too much or get too stinky. They suds him up.
Yeah.
And then they just drag him behind the ship for a while.
Yeah, like your body odor is a sense of pride on this ship.
It shows your station, how much of a veteran you are.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the more you stink. And it's really like your own personal brand.
Yep.
It's like you can smell someone coming and you know precisely who they are. Really, it's a security measure.
It is, absolutely.
If someone doesn't smell, they know it's an intruder. So really, it's great there. He wears a 3-corner hat that has been just weather worn through the ages. The leather is worn. I guess it's a leather hat, huh? Yeah, sure, it's a leather hat. The leather is worn on the 3 corners. He has a ruffled, was once white, but now is a rather putrid shade of brown shirt.
Yeah.
With ruffly sleeves.
Yeah.
He has 2 pistols.
Nice.
With wooden handles. On his, I don't know what you want to call it, a holder.
Yeah.
With leather straps, black pants, and of course knee-high pirate boots.
Of course.
He has 1 gold tooth right here.
Yeah.
Right on the canine.
Yeah.
And I think he did that cosmetically. I don't think he I think that's for show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That is Arthelius Torn. So is he turned away?
He's
facing.
He was facing away. He turned toward the window, looking down, picking his teeth, so that Pym could make out and confirm that it's him.
Okay.
And now he has since turned back. He has fashioned himself a bit of a swivel chair. And is now facing away from the window.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, Pym has no other choice but to knock on the window.
Oh, boy.
I think that's right. I mean, there's a sealed porthole.
Yep.
I could keep going up to the deck of the ship. I just think
Maybe find more resistance that way.
I could. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an intruder.
Yeah.
I don't know if the mates on this ship are the same mates as, when I sailed with them.
So I will say
3 years
this
ago.
sounds like a face danger, attempting something risky,
Yeah.
or reacting to an imminent threat. Envision your action and roll. Does it sound like...
What's the danger, though, that he would be hostile? Because all I'm doing is knocking on a window.
That's fair.
And he could open it.
Okay.
I'm going to knock on the window.
All right.
I'm not going to roll on that. I'm just going to. Pym, says a curse word under her breath, and she just can't believe that she has to do this, and that, unfortunately the window is locked, but here we are. And she wants a private audience with him, so this is what she's going to have to do.
Yeah.
She takes her knuckles, she takes a deep breath, and she knocks.
Immediately, the chair swivels around, and Torn has 2 pistols drawn and trained on the window. Immediately.
And Pym ducks.
She ducks out of sight of the
Ducks
window.
out of sight.
Torn takes slow steps toward the window. Is the window open at this point, or it's still shut?
It's still shut. He has to open it. He has to unlock it and open it himself.
He does that. Undoes the latch on the top and bottom of this brass-rimmed porthole window to the captain's quarters. Swings it open. And with pistol trained to the outside, peeks one eye at an angle out of the ship. Pym sees his long matted hair start to dangle out of the windowsill. Does he have a beard?
Yeah, of course.
His salt and pepper beard also stretching out as he looks without making a sound.
And there's so many things I could do here. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for starting the timer.
You got it.
I think, okay. Steg leaps out of her pocket right here. Steg leaps out of Pym's pocket, sweet little mechanical frog, and he hops up. He basically hops up the ladder and hops right onto his beard. He latches onto his beard.
Yeah.
And out of him, he breathes out a special agent. Some kind of weird powder comes out of Steg like that, in a plume of smoke, and causes Arthelius Torn to retreat. And we hear a little bit of rustling and a little bit of struggle. And
Lantern knocked over.
Yeah,
a little bit
a
of
little
a stubbed shin on a table leg.
And then we hear a thump. And with that resounding thump, Pym comes up and crawls through the window, and Arthelius Torn is knocked out.
Unconscious?
I think he's gone to sleep
Okay.
for a second.
All right. The unconscious Arthelius Torn on the floor of his captain's quarters. A drool coming out of his mouth. Whatever this agent was, this gaseous, fumous agent, put him out.
Yeah.
Whether that put him out or he clanged his head on one of his low-hanging lanterns, we don't really know.
So Pym works very quickly. She shuts the window so that there could be no sound. She locks the captain's quarters door. She also puts an ear to the door and confirms that the entire crew is still dining. And there's a raucous, there's maybe someone playing a flute. They're having a great time. I mean, they're moored in a cove. I mean, they successfully, there's no heat on them.
They're getting hammered.
They're getting hammered. They're able to really enjoy themselves. Pym then, I want to see if there's a way to tie him up.
Okay.
So what should I, just like 50-50 if there's like some rope around?
Yeah, you can also check your gear as well.
Yeah, I'm going to check my gear for some rope.
Love it.
And I roll against supply, right?
Yep.
So it's like...
You actually add your supply to the roll. Your add.
Oh, great.
Yep.
And what's the modifier on check your gear? Oh, that's the modifier. It's +3.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to check my gear for some rope. I don't have rope. Cool.
Looking around, Pym sees so many decorative, like the finest spoils taken from years of being the most notorious pirate band on the eastern coast of the Ironlands.
Yeah.
And looking around, she sees these fine silken robes in the shape of, you would almost describe it as like a toga on a mannequin in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And it's this beautiful purple silk, a dye she's not familiar seeing, but can only assume Torn was able to scrounge from some sort of wealthy trading ship.
Yeah.
Ripping the toga off of the mannequin, she is able to successfully bind Torn to his ornate captain's chair.
She also takes his 2 guns. She takes his 2 guns, and she decides, okay, he seems sufficiently, bound.
Yep.
And she nods to Steg. Steg climbs over and starts licking his cheek like this.
And while we wait for him to awaken, Arthelius Torn, we pan focus to Dirk on the beach.
Oh no!
Who, looking at the ship, has just been counting 1 Ironlander, 2 Ironlander, 3 Ironlander, 4 Ironlander. Just going over again and again in his head what the plan was, what the situation was. Heard nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody heard anything,
Heard
really.
nothing.
Yeah.
All seems to be going good.
Yeah.
And then just continues to sit where the dinghy launched from, out of sight behind a boulder, and watch. Ready to take action as soon as he's needed. Mostly nude from the waist up. Really trying to stay out of sight.
A nude man trying to be inconspicuous.
A huge nude man on a shoreline. We pan back. We smash cut back. Torn begins to rustle to Steg's.
And Pym cocks, she doesn't cock the guns, but she trains both guns on him. Good morning.
The long-lost lamb finds the flock once again. Wow.
Suppose you didn't expect to see me, did you?
I guess not this soon, Red, no.
not quite so soon. Is this really necessary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is, because I've got a lot to ask you, and I don't want you skipping town again like you did last time.
How long has it been?
Oh, I don't know, 3 years? Now, here's what you're going to do for me. I have questions to ask you, and you're going to answer them. If I notice that you're skirting the questions, let's just say I don't know what these guns are going to do.
And why shouldn't I just holler real loud and get the attention of all of my crew?
Because then you'll be dead. And I have an escape. And I have backup.
So be it.
Right. First of all, I can't believe you sold me out. Do you realize that they took me? They took me for 2 years, trying to make them figure out what to do with this black iron. Do you realize that you sold me out to them?
Sold you out. Sounds so far that everything was according to the agreement that we set down. 3 years seems a little bit long, but...
Now, remind me again
You're
what
back?
that agreement was.
Well... Did they hurt you? Did they treat you poorly?
They didn't hurt me, no, but they kept me captive. And they wouldn't let me go.
Had I known that was on the table... Okay. I'd been in dealing with this group that took you. It's their main supplier of the main good they wanted. Star-forged black iron.
Yeah, sure.
As they called it. And, it came to a point where I saw that the agreement could become a bit more beneficial for myself and my crew. Business has been a little light. You were bored. You knew. You saw it. We were struggling. And we came to an accord. A temporary, contractual business relationship is what we came to. You would work for them, supply your aptitude for tinkering, your knowledge of things mechanical. They had an interest in you. And Arthelius Torn's band of pirates would be their exclusive distributor of the many goods they need. Starforged black iron. I'd get a bigger cut of the pie. You would work for them for a year and then come on back.
None of that was explained to me. Not a word. All that I knew was that I was to go with them or else lose my life. And it ended up being 2 years, and the only way that I could escape was by escaping.
Do you want a drink of something? Would you like some wine? I was just sitting down to some
No.
dinner. Would you like any... Honestly, we have been eating quite well. We had filet mignon this evening. Delicious.
She cocks both guns. I don't have much time here.
Red, you're upset. I see that. You feel cheated. You feel like I haven't been forthright with you. But as I feel I don't have to explain, things move fast, both in the Ironlands and in business. And you see an opportunity, you have to act on that opportunity.
They kept me there for 2 years, forcing me to do experiments on this metal. And I lied to them. I told them I can't do it. I forcefully botched the experiments because they're bad, Arthelius. They're bad. They want to use this black iron for evil.
A business partner with a pirate band had some nefarious dealings? I'm sorry. We were starving. The crew's well-being was my responsibility, and it was in danger. We needed more money, more supplies, or 30 men were going to be on their ass. Out of work, out of a roof over their head. This was the opportunity handed to me. And I'm sorry I didn't take the time to go over the ins and outs with you. But as you know, when you took the opportunity to climb aboard my ship and get a life for yourselves, life isn't always fair. The Ironlands aren't fair.
Fine.
Now you sneak aboard my ship and point a gun at my face and make demands of me after I gave this life to you.
Regardless, let's just say we're even. All right? You owe me, I owe you, we're even. Now, I believe you know something. Aren't we? Because, see. You took me in.
I was just doing the math in my head of
I
even typically means that
was
everything is
slighted
settled and
by-
nobody owes anyone anything, right? But by the same property, if we both equally owe each other, that's equally even in the parlance of business negotiations. You're right. Keep going.
Regardless, I feel like you know something about your former business contact. First of all, why are you not dealing with them anymore?
We take new business opportunities where
No,
we
there's
can
a reason, and you
find
need
them.
to tell me why.
We need things slow down, things ebb and flow. It's a bit of a gully right now for our operation,
And
but
she puts one of the
things
guns under his chin. There's a reason why you stopped dealing with them. Tell me why.
it's no surprise. You're astute enough to observe. A pirate captain doesn't make a lot of coin being holed up in a cove near nothing. We should be making shipping runs. We should be out there earning. After you began working for them, things were good. Coin was flowing in from this client. We were making longer runs with more and more Starforged black iron for them. They got too demanding. They started to want more. And this went from... You see, when I do business with someone, I'm looking for a rising tide. It should lift all ships. Thank you for loosening my bonds so that I can gesticulate. Just enough. I'll lower them down now. They started to get the idea that I not only worked for them, I served them. We had a negotiation. They sent one of their emissaries. I was disgruntled. The pay was starting to dry up. The runs started getting too frequent. And we were low on supplies and energy. They demanded too much. I had to renegotiate the terms of our arrangement. They didn't see it the same way. And the few men I had brought all of a sudden were trained upon by armed men, but something was different about them. There was no reasoning with them.
What you mean?
We stared into them, and it looked as though nothing was looking back. This emissary made it clear that if we didn't continue to serve them on their terms, that would be the last ride for Arthelius Torn and his merry band of pirates. Of course, I didn't see it that way. And nobody has a one-sided negotiation with Arthelius fucking Torn.
You said there was something weird about them. Did you notice anything about their eyes?
From what I could see, nothing. Nothing weird. Nothing. Blackness. Complete blackness. Is there any chance you could pass me my goblet of wine? The dried meat is I'm having like a cottonmouth situation right now.
She just obliges because she needs him to keep talking. And she knows that with alcohol, he will continue.
Captain's a bit thirstier than that. You don't want any, you're sure?
I'm sure.
This is 85 years old. We knocked off a merchant vessel a while back.
Stick to the task at hand.
Casks of this stuff.
No.
Have it your way. Like I said, we resisted. There was a fight. I lost 2 good men and a young greenhorn that honestly we shouldn't have brought with us. And we've been on the run ever since.
From them.
Yeah. They have whatever this business is. They need a lot of Starforged black iron. And I don't know how they're sourcing it now. Some poor bastards out there getting taken for a ride, probably like I was. But
where were your contacts from? Where were they reporting in and out of?
Word got to me, since we've been hiding out, that their main operation... And Red, you're not going to like this. And I'm not lying to you. So, just know that. And I know that fiery temper of yours can get out of hand from time to time. It's deep in the Veiled Mountains. This isn't me telling you to go piss off to some mountain expedition and not bother me for another 3 years. Though I'd like that. They're holed up in the Veiled Mountains. Look. I can get emotional when someone I haven't seen in years has my own pistols trained on me. I'm sorry.
Do you know?
But you understand, things in business, they're gray. We operate in the gray.
Sure, it's just business.
It's just business. It's not personal. And from what they assured me, you were going to work for them for a year, maybe 2. Hell, 3 years doesn't seem so bad, grand scheme of things. You're young.
That's water under the bridge. I have one last question, and then I'll be going on my way. And that is, do you know what they're up to? Do you have any knowledge of why they want all the black iron?
And as Pym asks that, faint, but in the background, you hear...
No, Dirk! Answer quickly, because I've got to go. Deal with that.
Is this some...
You need to answer me right now, she says, sweat dripping off of her temple as she realizes that everyone is going to hear.
The sirens the din begins to become a little bit more of like a confused. It begins to quiet down. And the raucous laughter and drinking becomes just listening.
You're going to answer my question. I'm going to get you out of those binds, and you're going to tell your crew there's nothing to see above decks. Do you understand? And then we'll forget any of this happened.
Kind of sounds like whoever that is has some talent. Okay. The exact nature of their operation, I've got no clue. They're in the Veiled Mountains. They need a ton of this Starforged black iron. Their emissary that they sent was creative. It was some weird zealot level fanatical stuff. Whatever this order is, they see a new way of doing things in these Ironlands. And they needed impossible amounts of that substance to do what they were doing.
And then Dirk begins belting. Fine. I've got to go. And she takes her dagger and she cuts the expensive purple silk fabric that he's tied up with. She says, "Tell your crew there's nothing to see." She hops back into her pocket and she goes down the rope.
Quickly, as she descends down the rope, Torn grabs her forearm really quick. And he looks at her and he goes, "Be careful, Red." And then he lets her go and ducks back in. And
she, slows her. She's basically fire poling down this rope, and she gets insane rug burn from it, plops down in the dinghy and starts rowing, is in sight of Dirk.
Dirk is treading water in the lagoon cove in front of the ship. A couple of crew members have now gotten to the top deck and are looking out, and she sees Dirk treading with just his legs, going like, oh. He's undone his hair so that it flows down in front of his chest. But seeing Pym, he's singing, he's feeling the vibes, and then goes, oh. And then just begins to tread water back toward the shoreline.
Pym is, and clearly, obviously people have come out onto the ship to see what's going on.
What was that sound?
And they're looking, and Pym is rowing, and they're clearly both.
It sounded beautiful.
And they both turn back to the ship and kind of wave, and Pym kind of waves.
Are there maidens? Did you hear maidens out there? Come to us at last. We can party.
Oh, no, we're not hostile. It's just, he's a traveling... Actually, you know what? He's a little touched. He's been a little bit too close to the ethers, as it were. Glad I found him.
And immediately seeing Pym addresses these crew members?
Oh, maybe not.
They...
Well, they see, right?
Yeah.
They see both of them. She's in a dinghy off the side of the ship.
Pym addressing the crew members, they start sprinting about the top of the deck, and a couple of them pull pistols out, and they train them on Pym.
And then Torn appears on the deck of the ship and says, "Stay your guns, mateys. Stay your guns." Just waving goodbye to an old friend. And because they have to follow his orders, they put their pistols back, and Torn gives one arm up as Pym as Dirk kind of like belly flops his way onto the dinghy. And they both row to shore, go into the brush unseen, and the crew members retire to their quarters.
It's a close shave.
It was. I wish we had a better plan because...
No, that worked.
Well,
I love that.
I mean, yes, it was a good distraction, but I actually didn't need
Thank
one.
you. Oh,
It's all right. You were beautiful.
sorry.
You sounded great.
It just seemed like a long time.
It did.
It seemed
I
like a
know.
long time, and I didn't want to. I didn't know if they had like kept you captive or whatever.
Of course. And I appreciate it. And we got some information, at least.
Okay.
But we ought to go farther deep in here and make camp for the night.
Okay. You think we can stay in the same cove? They're not gonna. Well, they let you go, so.
I mean, and we see that there's woodlands beyond this cove. There's some, rocky cliffs, but there are clear woodlands heading
Thick
north.
island brush.
Yeah, thick island brush heading north. And so I think we should go this way. I think we should head north for just a couple of paces.
All right.
And then
I would
camp.
like Dirk to secure us an advantage before we make camp roll.
Okay, cool.
Leveraging wild blood.
Yes.
Yep. So he's going to secure an advantage.
Let's see if we can fashion some sort of lean-to out of some of these tropical trees.
Great.
I'm going to start chopping up some stuff here.
Great.
Let me get my tray ready.
Uh-huh.
Stand by, stand by, stand by, stand
Get
by.
your
stand
tray
by, stand by.
ready.
Tracking!
It matters. Oh!
I did not secure you an advantage.
Nope, not at all. Totally fine. There are consequences, though. You have to pay the price.
Do I? My assumptions betray you. Pay the price.
I mean,
Well,
Dirk,
I will, I can roll on this too.
Yeah, roll on that. I have
Love
no
it.
idea.
Damn it. Oh, wait, no. That's the wrong dice to roll for this. This is D100.
Got it.
40. The current situation worsens.
Worsens. We're not able to make camp. All I was trying to do is make camp.
No, I didn't. I didn't secure us an advantage.
All right.
So in
you just didn't secure an
in
advantage.
wandering around this
Yeah.
cove, Dirk is unable to find some nice open clearing, flat ground to make a fire. And overhead, clouds begin to form.
Oh boy.
And
Crap.
rain begins to plummet down overhead.
So Pym immediately looks to the cliffs, and hopefully there's a cave or like just a little bit of an outcropping.
Yeah.
She looks. There is one. So we're gonna choose to make camp there.
Cool.
There's basically a bunch of rock that is kind of overhanging. And they're able to take shelter for the night. We're gonna roll and make camp, which
It's
is
cool
plus
because I was
supply.
wet anyway from being in the water, so it's fine.
Yeah, thanks for the help. And let's see. We're going to roll plus supply. Here we go. That's a weak hit.
Nice.
So we choose one, and I
Cool.
think we can choose. We share this, so I think we both need health, don't we?
I do.
You super need health, right?
Yes.
So yeah, plus 1 health for both of
Thank
us.
you.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Helpful.
Helpful. And they make.
And Dirk is gonna, from that miss, take a hit to his momentum on the gather information.
No, on the secure an advantage.
Yeah, secure an advantage. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, if you want to. Okay, so They do manage to gather some brush very quickly before the rain can get to it, and are able to create a modest fire with Pym's little flint spark machine.
Underneath the glow of the fire over this rocky outcropping, they've dried off, and Dirk looks at Pym. How'd it go in there? How do you feel?
Well, there's something I didn't really tell you about my past, besides the fact that I was a pirate for a while.
Yeah.
There.
Oh my god. Okay, so did he meet Glacierbeard? What did he say about Glacierbeard?
And she just like looks at him so sadly. I didn't ask him about Glacierbeard.
Or the, any encounters with the Kraken or,
No Kraken. No, not while I was on the ship at least, but...
That's fair. He had more important stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Plus you started singing, so...
Right.
You know,
You're
that
probably getting to it.
was going to be my next question for him, but...
Sorry. Jump the
it's
gun
alright.
again.
Yeah. It was 200 Ironlanders, right, that you had to count to, or, well, we didn't specify. Regardless, about 3 years ago now, so I was working for Torn on the ship. He took me in as a girl.
Cannoneer? Gunner?
Cannoneer. No, I mean, really just repairing the
lookout.
ship and...
Crow's Nest Lookout.
No, I just repaired the ship.
Oh.
And I stole things.
Okay.
I helped steal things because I'm quite small and I was a girl, so I was often used as a decoy.
Oh.
You know, a target would think that I was selling flowers or selling fish. I looked like an urchin and I looked like I didn't have a place to stay, so I was perfect for the fact that, you know, targets would come up to me and then we would pickpocket them. It was very easy.
So you... it seemed... I don't know. You rolled with these guys for so long, they were just sort of using you?
No. I found real family with them. And real camaraderie and community. I didn't have a family, and they were considered my family for a while. And I got really good at my tinkering, you know. I came across this, and she opens her pocket and she shows him the black iron. I came across this a while ago, and I realized that I could use it to, I had been tinkering and I had been making, you know, small little creations, you know, with you know, iron and steel and with cork and with, you know, all sorts of things, making little figurines, making little things like Steg here. And I found out when I came across this, and it looks like unlike anything we've ever seen in these lands before.
At this point, the firelight is reflecting off of the Starforged black iron that's in Pym's hand. And instead of normally reflecting the light back, it appears to refract it almost and go into it and divide itself and refract itself.
I figured out how to use this to make, for example, my friend here. And Steg pops out and, like, you know, winks at him and then pops back in. The problem is that Torn picked up a new contact, a new client. And this was a large organization that wanted more and more and more of this iron. And so we shifted our operations to only finding this iron for them. Either smuggling it or finding people who were mining it or what have you. And then one day, their contact noticed me and my tinkering. I thought I was alone, but apparently they saw me on the deck of the ship. And I was doing what I do, which is heating it up and making steak, really. That was the day I was making him. And apparently, the next day, I was on a cart heading north for the Veiled Mountains. I got sold out, basically. I was cargo in an agreement between Torn and this organization. And they held me there. They held me in a small cell in the Veiled Mountains, and they forced me to try to give unnatural life to their weapons. And I lied. For 2 years, I lied, saying that I couldn't do it. And after a couple of months, they brought someone else to join me, someone else who was a tinkerer, but didn't know what I know. He was my collaborator, and
So they were just grabbing people from all over.
it would appear that way, but it was just the two of us while I was there. And at first, we were both in agreement that this is wrong. That it seems like this sect, this cult, this group of zealots, we found out that they want to, in their words, unite Skyrim.
Unite Skyrim?
Did I say Skyrim?
What?
Oh no!
Where's...
Why did I say Skyrim?
Well, that's fine. We can let them worry about... That sounds like some other place.
Role-playing is hard.
That isn't even in
Role-playing
this...
is really hard.
Wherever that is, it sounds like it isn't part of this, universe.
Did I say Skyrim? I can't recover. Oh no. Oh.
Wow.
Listen, the universes are really similar, and it's cold in both places.
It's cold, yeah. What's going on in Skyrim? What are sort of some of the problems over there? I would hate if Civil War was taking place or something.
No. There's dragons and stuff.
Whoa.
All right. Okay. We're going to get back into it.
Yeah.
These zealots want to unite the Ironlands.
Oh.
The Ironlands.
That's where we are.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Forget what I said before. I'm not sure what, I've been through a lot today.
Yeah,
it's a lot on my mind. They want to unite the Ironlands with armies, perhaps, of what? Machinations, creations? I don't know. But after a while, this collaborator started buying into it all and started thinking that we should really try to figure it out. And that's when I knew I had to leave.
How did you escape?
I waited till night. And I used sort of that same sleeping powder as I used to...
Exfiltrate.
Yeah. I put a couple of guards to sleep, and I ran away. And the problem is that in the middle of the Veiled Mountains, there's really nothing for a long time. So I had to survive on my own. But then I eventually made it to the Ragged Coast. So what I found out from Torn is that he continued to deal with these people. And they continued to become more and more desperate for the Black Iron. They also sent an emissary who had thralls with him. The same people under what sort of spell?
From the road and
from the road
Trout
and
Nook
from
Marketplace.
exactly with the entirely black eyes, the nothing eyes. And so he cut off ties with them. But he believes that, I mean, they were supplying so much of this black iron to them that he believes that they're up to something really dangerous with it. And
so you craft and make little stag and things, but that,
well, the thing you don't know is that
that causes...
I can compel him to do anything I want.
Okay.
He is shall we say, a extension of my will, and I make him do whatever I want, really. So, if you do that with a weapon, something really powerful, you could be capable of destruction.
But you...
And lastly,
Okay. Yep.
your Iron Blight situation, right? We know that it's because people are trying to do what I do with this. And she
Trying to do what
indicates
you
the
do.
black iron. And they're failing. And they're releasing this blight. So,
How do I know you're not also?
I
To
haven't-
make little stag and whatever unnatural, unliving things you want to give your will to.
suppose we don't know that. I mean, I don't release grey powder into the air when I do it.
Yeah.
And it's successful.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're still trying, and they're doing it wrong.
Okay.
They are still trying to make this work, and maybe they're close to succeeding, and maybe they're already succeeding. I think
That's so... This is big. This is so big. An army of...
stay with me.
Okay.
Stay with me, Dirk.
Okay.
You want to save your homeland, don't you?
Of course I do.
You want to stop the blight, right?
Yeah.
All that we need to do is head north, lay low, and just find out some more information. Right? Maybe we'll bring along some people with us. He's doing the him waft thing, isn't he?
I'm just a little... It's just a lot, and I... Inner fire. I OOC made myself lightheaded doing that.
Oh, no.
Okay. Pim, I'm sure you can respect that that's a lot. But, you know, your expertise and honestly, your heart and your generosity got me answers before. And that's enough for me. So that's fine. Practically now, what's our next step? There's so much heat on us in Windhaven. We're in this cove that we need to get back to mainland somehow first. And like you said, lay low. Who's getting us up to we have to get to the Veiled Mountains?
Yes.
Okay.
I escaped from there, so I'm fairly certain I know the way. But it's a bit of a journey, And it would be helpful if we had horses, or if we had a cart of some kind to take us up the road.
Do we sneak back to the stables we left our horses at and just try to duck any heat from the guards? We've got Bardolph. He can help us.
Right.
He can shelter us perhaps for a night. But I don't want to bring any. If he's harboring us and we're criminals, he's going to get in trouble.
And she takes out the map, which is now has been very, waterlogged and a little withered.
Oh, we have a map.
We have a map.
Oh.
I think we just keep heading north. There's another settlement, a smaller city, as it were, that, services Windhaven.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit farther north that is on the coast. And we can get there in about a day's time, I would say.
I don't see this cove on this map, Pim. How do we...
It's that... See that little bump? I feel like it's that.
Oh.
We must be here.
Some hiding spot for Torn, huh?
But
All
I
right.
reckon...
All right.
I don't quite recall the name of this place, but...
Okay.
I know that...
Pirates Cove?
Well, this is Pirates Cove. Yes, we're in Pirates... We're in Pirates Cove. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's a miniature golf course that's close by here.
Adventure golf?
Perhaps, there's waterfalls and, the wee little colored balls that you can hit with a stick. And
Sounds like a great escape.
try to get into a... Anyway, regardless, we're going to head north and we're going to go to this settlement.
Okay.
City, let's say. Town.
And Dirk leans back with a big sigh, and he looks up at just a long, rocky overhang with some clear evening sky. Did I say clear evening sky? The clouds have parted since they've been talking and the rain stopped. Okay. Also, it's the two of us. We've gotten through a lot. But I don't know what sort of forces these guys have to bring to bear. We just gotta be ready for anything.
Sure. So let's head north. Let's go by different names.
Okay.
And let's try to find a way up to the Veiled Mountains. All right?
Rick Smellman.
Rick.
Rick Smellman. No?
Sure.
Porf.
Porf?
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. New names.
And by this point, Pim has taken her bedroll
Rock.
and just gotten onto her pillow and just has decided to just
Rock
sleep.
Sodgrass.
Sodgrass.
Backpack. Wood fire.
Good night.
I almost have yours. Star. Tree bark. And Pim and Dirk. Eventually Dirk exhausts himself looking at things around the environment and making names of them. And they tuck into sleep.
And they go to sleep. We have to figure out what's going to happen. On the next episode.
We're ending there?
We're ending there.
Dang.
Wow.
Awesome.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Main questy. Kind of seems main questy.
It kind of seems like we have a big bad to go storm the gates of.
Oh my gosh. We'll see you guys next week.
See y'all next week.
Bye.